why don't we speak to somebody who's been there? Former Premier League referee Mark Halsey is joining the show this morning. Hello, Mark.
Morning, Mark.
Morning, Laura. Morning, Dino. How are we?
Morning. Yeah,
very good. Where do we start?
I know.
I don't know. I think I'm in for a tough time this morning with you, pal.
No, Mark. I'm glad you're on. What are we going to do about it? We keep moaning about VAR, but you're the man. You might be able to shed some light on it. I mean, Laura was being kind about Brighton for there was about 7 instances.
6, I think.
Yeah, listen, it's. I think with Howard coming in, I think this is in a lot of years in the making. Going back a few years with the previous management, and Howard's got to be given time. He's got to be given time. He's got to be given money. I think there'll be a lot of changes once he properly takes over in the summer. To bring in excellent coaches and a different management team around him, and I think we'll start seeing some changes. But yeah, you're spot on at the moment. I think VAR is so inconsistent; it really is, and I know it frustrates everybody. It frustrates me because it shouldn't. What happened at Tottenham Brighton on Saturday just shouldn't happen. Because you get the on-field referee. He's made an error. He's not recognised the challenge like he should have recognised it. But you've got VAR there to back these up. And for me, I think the 2 goals that were ruled out were correct in law because of the handling the ball law. But I also feel that Brighton should have had 2 penalties, which VAR should have intervened and recommended a review for Stuart Atwell.
Well, this is where it goes pear-shaped, because I actually thought that the ball hit McAllister's hip, not his hand, and I thought Mitomo hit his armpit, not his arm.
Yeah. Well, it was. Well, it looks like the T-shirt line, but remember the T-shirt line is now been changed. It goes to under the armpit, so the arm is under the armpit. So that's the new guidelines. And listen, it's one of those where I think it's subjective and inconclusive. So I think with those 2, you have to go with the on-field decision with the handling ball. You can accept that, but what you cannot accept is the 2 penalties that I feel that Brighton should have been awarded. There's no doubt about that. I think VAR fouled on Saturday for Brighton, definitely. And I think and Howard has listen, he will address that. He will be hurting. But it's going to take time. It's not an overnight fix to get the standard back up at all levels, Dean.
Mark, I want your thoughts on the Andy Robertson one. So I was watching it last night live, and just initially, as a fan more than anything, when I watch a game like that, maybe I've become, and we've all become, a bit desensitised to the way that players surround referees, touch them, shout in their face, and I wish there was more punishment at the time for that to try and stop that from happening. Yep. The one with the linesman, so this is Constantine Hatzidakis. My opinion on that is, I thought it was deliberate, but hey, look, this is just from me looking from the outside. Yeah. I didn't think that was natural for you when somebody comes anywhere near you, for you to actually swing an elbow that high. I just didn't think that was natural. But I also, even if it was just a kind of a flinch, a reaction, we've never seen that before really on the pitch. But as an official, surely it's your job to be the person that rises above that kind of reaction. Otherwise, everything goes to chaos, doesn't it?
Yeah, you're correct, Laura. I think officials are the guardian of standards on the field of play, and I think looking back at that, I think he will be regretting his actions. But having said that, listen, I think the PGMO are going to do their investigations. For me, I think that Robertson approaches him. It looks like he goes to touch him, and then the assistant then just flicks his arm up at him. I think he shouldn't have done that. What he should have done was gone over to the referee and reported it, and then let the referee take action. But listen, I think if he's found guilty of an act of violent conduct, then he should take his punishment, and the same way as Mitrovic has taken his punishment. They're both professionals. Robertson's a professional player. The assistant's a professional assistant referee. So, listen, we're just guessing at what's gone on. We have to wait for, obviously, the investigation to take place. The player will have his say, and obviously the assistant referee will have his say. So it's something that I've never seen ever before. So there's a first time for everything. But if guilty, he has to suffer the consequences.
What in your experience, what would the consequences be, roughly?
Well, you've got to look at Mitrovic, wouldn't you? I mean, if Mitrovic has been banned for 8 games for the use, for a technical assault, they could say, well, the assistant referee has technically assaulted a player. So you're looking at 2 similar incidents, aren't you? And obviously, if found guilty, then he has to suffer the consequences of an 8-game ban, because they've set the precedent, haven't they?
Mark, so I can't let this go. I've got to go back to the Brighton game, right?
Come on,
so we've got the officials, Michael Salisbury, and is it Stuart Atwell that was in the VAR chair?
No,
or the other way round. The other way round.
Other way round.
Right. So Stuart Atwell, I can forgive for all 7 incidents. He's running round on the pitch. His body's in front of him. He's a referee. He's human.
Yeah.
He can't see it from every angle. Michael Salisbury, I can't forgive him for the 7 of them. He's got 8 screens. How can he get it wrong? And what's going to happen to him now?
Well, listen, I think, obviously the handball, the handball was obviously an assistant referee. He's flagged, so they've not seen a clear and obvious error from that decision to overturn. So, which you can understand. But I think what Michael will have is operational advice on VAR, and there's still a lot of training and education to do with our VAR. Listen, I personally think that we shouldn't have any active officials operating VAR. I think it's a totally different profession to refereeing on the field of play to sitting in front of a screen for 90 plus minutes. I think you need retired top referees just solely implementing and in the VAR studio.
A bit like yourself.
Well, yeah, retired top referees, train them up to they're au fait with the laws of the game. And another thing, perhaps, should it be at Stockley Park? Should they all be one team together at the stadiums and sitting in the truck? The VAR sitting in the truck, working together. You have your same team. You all go around together as a team. The VAR. You have the VAR operator has 3 or 4 referees that he works with. And you go around, you're not at Stockley Park, you're at the stadium, you're in the truck and you're working together. You're together at 1:30 or 12 o'clock when you meet up in a hotel, you travel to the ground together, you're in the changing room together, you go into the truck and the officials go downstairs into the dressing room.
Interesting, yeah. Does it create more of an environment, like a team environment or something where you're more connected to the game? Because if you're in Stockley Park, are you actually subconsciously quite detached from it? Mark, I would love to...
Also, what you've got to remember, Laura, what we've got to remember, Laura, also is that, these guys, they're VAR on a Saturday or they're refereeing on a Sunday and they're going down to Stockley Park on a Sunday or a Monday. You wouldn't get players doing that, would you?
They're stretched, aren't they?
One game.
Doesn't affect your eyes.
No, I know. But there's concentration for a long period of time, constantly with travel in the middle of it and all that sort of stuff, flipping around. I do think they're stretched. I do. Otherwise, why would they be making so many mistakes?
How can you not see that's a penalty, Højbjerg?
Mark,
Simple.
Thank you so much, Mark Halsey, former Premier League referee on talkSPORT Breakfast this morning.
talkSPORT Breakfast with Laura Woods, Monday to Wednesday morning 6 till 10 on AM, on DAB, via the talkSPORT app and on your smart speaker. talkSPORT.